Good morning, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Gail and Jen.
Good morning.
We had heavy storms last night and
We sure,
rain all day yesterday. The sun is out. You can see behind me. The sun is out this morning.
yeah, I'm still in the clouds.
Are you still that,
But
that
I
storm
am, yeah,
intensified as it got closer to Chicago. Yeah, I'm an hour and a half outside.
yeah,
But I was watching it on the news. It intensified. It was like, oh man.
yeah, it was pretty loud last night, for sure. Yeah. Um, and I just was thinking, I went out, I walked Rosie this morning early, and it wasn't raining, but it was very cloudy, very like warm, that sort of warm spring feeling. And oh my God, that is the most calming feeling for me. And I just, kind of was out there and I just kind of stood and let my feet connect to the earth and, just kind of stood silently for a bit. Boy, it's so peaceful.
It's warming up. Like I still have my heat on, but we're warming up like into the 70s. So it's not kicking on. It's like nice, okay, because every now and then we drop back down into the 40s or something, and my heat will kick out a little bit.
Yes. Mine's been back and forth. I kind of just try to shut it off in this time because it's like heat, air, just kind of let it ride for a little bit and see.
Yeah,
But actually, this morning I kicked air and it was very hot. This, like yesterday was 80 for me, for us, by us. It was almost 80. And yeah, just, I don't know. Yeah, it's just been a little steamy. I guess we're getting to that steamy part of spring, which I love. It's very comforting, but,
I have
you know,
to. I was telling you, I have to mow my yard after this. It's like hitting that time. This will be the second time I've had to mow this year, and we always like. I usually don't have to mow till about May unless we get a lot of rain. We've been getting so much rain.
yeah, yeah, we've been blessed with the rain. Yeah, it's lovely. Ooh, I love a good stormy night with my books and my tea. Like I love a good thunderstorm, especially at night. Like that's one of my favorites. Or a
The
Sunday morning. That's a good time for a storm.
cats all watch at the windows. You're like, ooh,
Yes.
ooh, it's lightning.
Except Rosie, who runs by me and will try to burrow under whatever's next to me because she doesn't care for it.
We were lucky we didn't get like it was almost getting tornadic last night. But we were lucky we didn't get tornadoes here like they had in Oklahoma.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully everyone is safe, and
Yeah. They're struggling a little bit out there.
yeah, check on your loved ones in that area.
Yes. Yes, yes. For sure.
Gail and I wanted to talk, Mother's Day is coming up, and happy Mother's Day to all our mothers that are out there, to all our single dads that have to be mom and dad too, to our pet mamas that are out there. We wanted to talk about nurturing for Mother's Day. So we
Yeah.
hope you enjoy this episode. I was just talking about, I feel like the last episode we did, which was on Gail's channel, was one of the best episodes we've done. We were talking about staying connected spiritually. If you haven't watched that, please go over to Gail's channel and watch that. If you go to my playlist, it's in there. We always put the date in our episodes, so look for the April episode. It was an awesome one.
That was a lot of fun. Just flowed real easy and just a lot of good stuff came up.
You had your new gong. It
I
was
have my new gong. Woo!
the sound bath was awesome, and the meditation.
Yeah, you did a little different meditation. That was beautiful.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we get to hear her new baby again. You were talking about naming it. Have you come up with it?
I have not named her yet, and I know you said maybe Bertha, like birth. I don't know. She hasn't come up with her name yet. She will, but yeah, don't know. She just feels
We'll have
very.
to help her out. Give us names in the comments.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
It's a big gong, and it's got this really earthy, grounding
Yes.
sound to it. So I was like,
Just-
I'm thinking of Big Bertha, like,
yes. Yeah, it's a beautiful earth tone, this
but
one.
it needs something, um, maybe a little more spiritual name.
Yeah.
I forgot that we Googled what Bertha meant. I forget what it meant.
Oh yeah, we did look it up. I can't remember.
Wait, I'll have to look it up again.
Who can Google faster? You can.
The bright one. Uh,
Oh, that was why. Yeah,
the
that's
bright one,
beautiful. That's beautiful.
or famous. The bright one.
The bright one. That used to be a very popular name in like the 30s and 40s. Bertha.
Wow.
Nice.
So we were talking about like different things that we do to nurture ourselves, and um, different types of um, things that we go through. I got hung up on focusing on Kali, the Hindu goddess of life and destruction, or creation
Mhm.
and death, however you want to term it. And I was thinking about how we often have to break something down to rebuild it. We have to sometimes destroy it, breaking it down to release it, to let it go, and to rebuild and nurture ourselves and do something um, in a more light-filled, loving way for ourselves. I
Yes.
know, Gail, you pulled some cards.
I did, yeah. So I'm using Alana Fairchild's Kali deck. So I'm like, oh my God, I could pull some, get some Kali out, some images for us. But yeah, I mean, she is, everyone's so fearful of Kali, but that destructive energy makes way for the beauty, makes way for the truth, makes
Yeah,
way. She's a great protector. So yeah, I pulled some,
that, that warrior energy. Look
yes,
at her with her sword over her head. That warrior energy, that divine feminine, right? Who said
yes,
women can't fight, right? The divine
right,
feminine.
for sure. And boy, do we have a fight on our hands lately
She's
everywhere.
she's always shown in blue.
Yeah.
Uh,
You guys see that? Oh, this way. I'm so bad at the camera.
yeah,
I
that's a
can't do
beautiful.
things backwards. But this is Alana Fairchild's Kali deck.
Yeah, it's funny. I look. There's the destruction. That we always think of the Empress, as the mother card, but the High Priestess for me also is the divine feminine, where the
Yes.
Hermit is the masculine, divine masculine.
And
Um,
she also has that like mystical quality to her, kind of the bigger universe, which I love about the High Priestess.
Yeah, and she's introspective. She takes wisdom within. My cards are sticking together. It's humid. She takes wisdom within, right? She takes it in and absorbs it, and then allows it to go deep into her subconscious before she brings it back out. So she takes time to reflect and
Yeah.
introspection. The more masculine energy, he takes wisdom within, then shines a light on it. um, so the masculine to me is like what moves you into action. The
Right.
feminine is more nurturing when it comes out. It's like, okay, how can I breathe a new life into this? How can I create something different with this, or something new with this? Or how can I impart my wisdom to others to help them grow and learn? Um,
I think that's the beauty of Callie is that she kind of embraces both. And she's like that, I'm coming at you with a sword and I got skulls around my neck and we're going to, see this through
yeah,
and protect that sacred feminine piece within her. It's beautiful.
yeah, and then the Empress, which comes out and gives birth to new things, that creation
Yes.
energy, and Callie with that life energy, that you can destroy something, yes, but you can also give life. And
Yes.
um, it's interesting because, like, I was thinking about giving life, new beginnings and endings, the alpha and omega, right?
Yep.
The beginnings and endings. But I also think of alpha and omega as light and dark. And I think of it as perfection and fulfillment. So as opposed to endings, sometimes I'll term it fulfillment. Like I finished that, I fulfilled that. So now I'm starting something new. Um, I was also thinking about, in Hebrew, the divine feminine, the divine presence of God is called Shekinah.
Mm.
Um, and it's more introspective and it's more compassionate. And we often think of the feminine energy as more emotions,
Yes.
or the masculine is like what moves you into action. And we all have both. There are times, when I'm out gardening my weeds, I'm in action. I'm in my masculine energy, but I'm also bringing in that feminine because I'm nurturing the earth, right? I have to
Right.
get the weeds out of the way so the flowers can grow.
Yes.
So,
And I think, yeah, always being an acknowledgement of those two and how it's so important that we honor both and know in situations, do I need this or do I need that? And not judging yourself. Because when women get, in a place where they have to stand firm or they have to, go after something, there's always this kind of judgment of shame on you. Who are you? That kind of stuff. And, it's important to know that we are both.
yeah, I always found it interesting in the corporate world that the
Yeah.
tough women, were looked at as bitches, and the tough men weren't. It's like, you know, they don't like it when a woman can be tough and bring out that more masculine side. But I think, because we tell ourselves things all the time that kind of demean ourselves or bring ourselves down a little bit, um, that we um, we have to know ourselves beyond societal expectations. I think we put too many pressures on us from society that a woman has to be like this or a man has to be like this. Um, you can let go of those societal expectations, and that's when you move into a heart center. That's what the high priestess is doing. She's moving into a heart center and into a soul center, and getting centered in her wisdom and then letting it come out.
Yes, absolutely. And I've been wearing this week, I have a Mother Mary bracelet that's just been on this week. A friend gave it to me. I had one years ago that I wore like a talisman everywhere and it broke and I was devastated for like a week. And it's just a little wood one from Mexico, and I just couldn't find another one. And but she's been on all week, and it just that kind of subtle acknowledgement that to honor that nurturing self, that mothering part, that beautiful internal heart center. No matter what the situation, even if the situations are rough and outside and corporate and administrative and all the things, we still that to keep that balance throughout the day and just not judge yourself and is really, really important. And so I take her with me to remind me.
I love the Holy Mother's energy. It's funny. I was doing it, and I hope she doesn't mind. I'm sharing this. I won't say her name. I was doing a reading for a lady, personal reading one morning, and I all morning my electronics kept going off in the house. Like the TV was going off and on, off and on. The clocks on the stove and the microwave were flashing. Like everything electronic was getting jacked up in the house. My phone kept going off and on. And so I got into Skype with her for a reading and I said, I hope I can stay connected because I'm having an electrical issue. And I always tune into people before I start a reading and start picking up a little bit of energy of like which loved ones are with them or whatever. And I said, I have your mother here, Mary or Marie, and I said, very nurturing, very loving, supportive energy because I'll feel their energy of what they're like on the other side. Very loving, very supportive, spiritual. energy, and she started laughing, and she goes, Jen, my mother is here. She
Wow.
said, but at 8:30 this morning, I asked the Holy Mother to come into my reading. And the Holy Mother presented, it's funny because like I've encountered the Holy Mother energy before, and
Yes.
called on her before. In this reading, she just came through like a very loving mother energy. And that's all I felt was this loving mother energy. I was like, well, that explains why my electronics were going
Yeah, it was a
weird.
little hard to get that channeled in without blowing the place up.
Yeah, and
A
I
lot
was
of divinity
laughing. I
in
was
one
like,
little
girl,
space.
you gotta warn me next time you're bringing the Holy Mother in, because it jacked up my electronics for a week in the house. I kept feeling the energy in the house. It was powerful.
Oh my
Um,
God, that's
I
incredible.
It was so interesting to me that she presented to me, because like I'll sense when I'm doing mediumship, I'll sense, is it mother, father, grandmother, grandfather. She presented like mother, just mother.
Wow.
It was so beautiful and simple, and not, you know, overwhelming. She just came through with this very nurturing mother energy, and I was like, wow, that was beautiful.
Wow, that's incredible. And I wonder if that's how your client sees her, or that's what she takes from her. And then so she's like, okay, here's what she needs. And, here's what you all are ready to handle.
It, she was just laughing because she said, I literally asked her to come into the reading because I wanted to see if there was a message, for
Yes.
me, because she has a fondness, obviously for the Holy Mother and a connection with her. Um, but I often like will call on different divine feminine energies, like the Holy Mother. Mary
Definitely.
Magdalene is another one
Oh,
that you
yeah.
mentioned.
She's one of my patronesses. Mary Magdalene is one of my has always just been with me, always strongly connected. you know Talk about the Cali energy, like the facing that danger and that ridicule, and even the apostles did not treat her very well, and she had to stay strong, and she was the one at the foot of the cross, and she was the one at the entrance of the tomb, and all the things. She just stayed and stayed and stayed. That takes a lot.
Yeah, and there at the beginning and the end again.
Yes, yes. And
Um, and
some say, depending on if you're a Cynthia Bourgeot fan, who is a Benedictine mystic kind of, but she writes that she actually went into the underworld with him psychically when he, those couple days. But it's interesting.
we've got a couple of people talking about one saying when the Holy Mother enters her meditation, she smells roses, and someone else saying the saints smell like roses. Scents for me show up differently for different people. So yes, it can be the Holy Mother to Earth Mama, and it can be saints to Chris. Roses for me is what I smell when Archangel Raphael is around. So
Right.
um,
Yeah.
I have different scents for different archangels that I smell. But that doesn't mean Raphael would present that way to Gail. Gail may smell another scent.
Right.
Michael smells like patchouli to me, Archangel Michael. So yeah, we all get different
Yeah.
scents. It's what you identify with that scent.
Yep. And I,
Like
I actually, Mother Mary is roses for me too.
yeah,
I make Mother Mary candles. I sent them with rose. Yeah, I always get roses. I don't know. And you know what? I think a lot of people portray that in art and things with roses connected to Mother Mary. But
yeah,
I should have, I have a beautiful, beautiful Mother Mary deck from a woman in South Africa that did a bunch of different collages of each image of the tarot and Mother Mary. It's really something
I
to
think
behold.
a lot of times the apparitions of her. A lot of times people will see golden roses on her feet.
Oh,
Um, so it's interesting that y'all are getting rose
yeah,
smells for the Holy Mother.
I
I
love
actually don't get a scent for her. I just feel when she got her energy is like whoosh,
it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, she's
Our,
incredible.
but Callie, like I love calling on Callie when I've got a tough problem and I need to put my big girl panties on,
Right.
and I need to go in that warrior mode a little bit, but
Yep.
still keep my feminine edge. Still try to,
Yes.
if I was working on a project at work and I knew it was going to be a tough sell to get people to sign up and be on board with it, I needed to nurture the group, the collective, but I
Yes.
also had to be a warrior for the cause. Like, we need to do this.
Yes, it's so important. I used to, when I'd have to start into a big project or, start falling away a little bit from something and just you feel your strength kind of waning, I would build like a warrior wall or a warrior space and just put images of all my warriors. Definitely Kali, Mother Mary Magdalene was always on there. One of my favorite heavy metal singers. Like I just pull all the warrior archetype in and be like, all right, we're going to get through this. Everybody ready, ladies?
'Cause, you know, a mother can be so good at fighting for her children and protecting her children. You think about it. Now, not all of us, me included, did not have ideal mothers. You may have
Correct.
been a
Myself
narcissist or
included.
an alcoholic or whatever your situation, or just a distant mother that wasn't there for you. But we can still find the mothering energy, in a way that we can let the adult in us heal the child in us. We can still find that. I was telling Gail, I have a dear friend, singer songwriter, who lived in Nashville area, and he passed away last year. But he had a song. I've shared a few of his videos on my community tab. But he wrote a song called "Talk to Yourself," and I love it. The line in it is "Talk to yourself like a good mother would." And that's the way we need to talk to ourselves in our brain, because we'll often put ourselves down. A good mother would lift you up, right? A good mother would nurture you and like, no, you're doing okay. Keep going, keep going. A good mother would be your cheerleader, right?
Right.
I just love that song. So, even if you didn't have a good mother, you can still talk to yourself like a good mother would. His name is Mark Elliott. I'll try to find his video again, share it on my community tab later. But I think
Yes.
that's so important, how we talk to ourselves, to nurture ourselves and to know when we need to pull back and reflect and go within and be quiet, and tune into what does my soul need? What
Right.
do I need to heal, or what do I need to allow or bring into my life? What do I need to create? I mean, the mother energy is the creator. Um,
Yes.
so whenever you want to create something, there's Beth Cat in chat. Beth introduced me to Mark. Beth, if you heard, I was just talking about his song "Talk to Yourself Like a Good Mother Would." It's such a profound meaning. We have to allow that creative energy to come out and talk to ourselves like a good mother.
Definitely. I mean, I think, especially those of us that have had really difficult mother times and mother childhoods. I think one of the gifts of all of that, any kind of trauma with that, is that you learn to create that peace within yourself. You learn to create that mother part of yourself within and create it how you see it. And you don't try to make it into something else, or you don't just, what you need, what you
that,
see
that
as.
that good mother that can pat you on the head and say it's okay, and comfort,
And I mean,
compassion.
that's one of a piece of our core existence, that the learning to do that for ourselves, learning to be in that heart center, learning to feel that self-compassion, whether or not we had that from an actual mother or others in our lives or nobody, we have the ability to create that within us, and it's
To
such
give
a
it to
teacher
ourselves
yes, when you
and to
don't
know
grow up with
we're
that, it's a
worthy of
great
it.
teacher to learn to give that to yourself, and it's a lifelong pursuit too. Yeah, for sure, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
So
I
important.
just it I just feel like, there's so many of us that didn't have that role model. Um, it, but to know that we can do that for ourselves, because
Mhm.
we are all creators, so we
Right.
can create that for ourselves, and we can create a space within ourselves, to allow ourselves to be nurtured and healed, and
Yes.
um, release any traumas, but nurture that, and to bring forth whatever it is we want to into the world, to create a new way of living, or whatever it is, a new project you want to get into,
Right.
inspiration. A lot of times people will ask me, like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? And a lot of times your purpose is just living by example, being a good person, someone that smiles to people in the grocery store, and
Mm.
is just a kind-hearted person. Like,
Yeah.
that, the ripple effects of that, people, you won't realize it till you're on the other side. The ripple effects of that,
Yeah.
there's a purpose to that, to coming in and showing by example how to just be a loving, kind person, to be compassionate. But we often find we're not compassionate to ourselves,
Right.
so taking that time to go within and be a good mother to ourselves.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes, the worse the trauma or the more poor example we had, I think the more we seek that sense of, we can create that whole thing, even sometimes better than it would have existed if we had like the greatest mother in the world. It takes you to that place of mercy and self care and self awareness, that you start to create that nurturing and compassion within yourself, however you see it. But I think too, like you said, sharing with the people around us, like I always try to like just be a good human when you go out, and you're like, if somebody's short money, then give it, or like in line, or whatever, or hold a door for somebody, or basic things. The smile is the hugest, because you know exactly where somebody's at if they can give you a smile. It's just such a great thing to share. I had a woman behind me, and I had COVID really bad, and I was just getting over, and I was sick as a dog. I was masked up. I had, back when we had the goggles on and the whole bit, and I had gone to Walgreens on the end of my block to like, I didn't have like Gatorade in the house. I didn't, and I like dragged myself to the whatever, and I left my debit card in the car. And there was a woman behind me, and it was like I had like $19 worth of stuff. And this woman behind me, who clearly was in cancer treatment, had the bandana on and the whole bit. She's like, honey, here. She just stuck it in the thing. She's like, believe me, there's stuff that matters so much more than you not having a debit card. And I thought, wow, I want to be that person, you know, everywhere I go, because it just, it was an incredible, kind moment. And I hope I provide that for other people. It
What
changes us. We don't believe what the power of that is, but it's true.
and sometimes, bad things do happen to good people, but in a way, sometimes it jolts us awake to recognizing what's important to us, what's important in our lives.
Yeah.
But I often think about too, like mothers, you know, raising a child and then turning them loose on the world. They're still
Yes.
there. You can still, go back to them and talk to them, or even after they're gone on the other side, their instructions, their nurturing, and their things they try to imbue in you are still there to tap into when you need to. Um, and if like me, you had a bad role model, I can tap into it. It's like, oh no, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. I can still, reflect back on that and make a decision, make the best decision. But that nurturing energy, that turning it loose and just allowing divine order to happen.
Yes. Yep. And just, yeah, always, I mean, you always have those moments where you kind of just, something happens and you want to have that jerk response of like, ah, and just to learn to stop myself is a big journey, and be like, no, I could be a different person right now. That's the important part.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that think taking time for yourself is being self-centered, and like, oh, I'm a petulant child, I'm self-centered, I'm self-absorbed, or whatever. No, there's a difference between self-centered and a centered self. And getting centered means that you can bring out more into the world. You can, if you take that time to become a centered self, when you do share, it has a little more impact, I think.
Yes, definitely. What are the biggest ways people nurture themselves or provide that kind of compassion for themselves? I'm just
Think things
wondering.
you do for yourself. Yeah, for me, yeah, I talk about it all the time. My guitar lessons, that's for me, because I love music, and when I'm practicing, I'm like in a meditative state. I can't think about anything else going on in the world.
Right,
And everybody talks about, oh God, the news and everything. I can't watch it anymore. Find something else to focus on.
right.
Knitting and crocheting for me is the same way. Like I can get into that and forget everything else that's going on in the world. Reading a book,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. For me, it's painting,
paint,
creating art, and I when I'm writing, I'm in the zone,
writing.
just completely self-reflective and calm and in connected, and yeah, that's a big one for me.
I've
And then
always
just
loved
little things,
journals. I love the journal.
yeah, yeah. And I think just, other things that caretaking, like, candles and baths and, all the nurturing
I love
things.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's funny because, like, when I'm in the bath and it's always by candlelight in the dark, I love that. Just the whole ambiance. It's like, whew.
Yes.
It's like taking in a deep breath and exhaling slowly negative gray energy. It's just going away.
Right. Yeah. MJ said puzzles. Puzzles
Yeah.
take you in the calm zone, in the self-care zone. It's true. Like when you step away for a couple minutes and just do anything for yourself, like it's really important.
Even, you know, a conversation with a friend.
Mhm.
You can pick up the phone and have a 5-minute conversation that totally shifts your energy a little bit.
Yep.
Um, and sometimes those friends, I always tease Beth Cat, because she's a Gemini, and Geminis have the twins, the duality. I said, when I want an opinion on something, I love to call Beth because I'll get two opinions. I'll get
Right.
both sides of it. So I love that. Johnny too. Johnny's a Gemini. I love that about Gemini.
Okay.
Get two opinions.
That makes sense.
It's like, oh, I call Beth when I need an opinion on something. Like, what do you think? This or this?
Right. Yeah. So who are the people in everybody's life that provide that kind of nurturing for you? Like who is your person that when you call them you're not going to get any abuse or any passive aggression or any, you know what I
Any
mean? That's your
judgment.
go-to person for, you can count on them to be kind of stable, supported, in your best interest kind of people. I mean, it's important too to have those. I have certain people that I call when I know I can't hear any more goofy stuff.
There's there's people like when I needed wisdom on how to handle something or how to look at something when I worked in the corporate world. There were sort of mentors or people that I respected their opinion, and I knew they looked at things logically.
Right.
So those were the people I would go bounce an idea off of. At work, it's like it's going to be based in logic, and they're going to back it up with something. It's not just
Right.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. Their own personal need to either be correct or be whatever. Yeah, it's more like, oh, okay, I'm actually listening. That's a good idea. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really
It's
interesting
different
because,
people
like,
in
I've
different
changed jobs,
situations.
many times, but I would always pick up on who can be my go-to. I can sound ideas off of or brainstorm with versus
Right.
watch myself with them because they've got their own agenda and it's not based on anything.
Right.
It's just I want to be seen and heard and no
Yeah.
logic behind it.
Yeah. Who's safe with your ideas? Like that's a big piece. Who's safe with your ideas, your emotions, your what you have to share? Like it's a safety thing almost. Like who you can kind of trust with stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like the narcissists at work, they would always try to dig into like your personal life and stuff, and then they'd use it against you later. That's what a narcissist does. They use it to attack later. So you learn how to set boundaries, and not give too much around a narcissist.
Yeah.
That's that wisdom we take. Our feminine wisdom we learn through our experiences, like, oh, I need to be guarded around people like this,
Right.
so that I can protect myself a little bit.
Yes, and I think stepping into like Age of Aquarius, more of a feminine approach, connecting with the divine feminine. I think one of the biggest pieces of that is we're stepping into an age when we are learning to discern more. Like discernment has become so crucial, and knowing your facts and knowing, what you're willing to accept and knowing what's right for you. Like that level of discernment is just going to be crucial, I feel like, in the years ahead for all of us collectively.
Yeah, especially with all the conspiracy theories floating
Yes.
around out there.
Yes. I mean, you got to look at both. I look at both. Anytime I do something, I pull up both sides and I
Yeah,
just keep digging and digging. And I don't want to just hear one side, even if that's a side I agree with. I need to hear it all
you need
and,
to
and
fact check it.
discern.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
it's
Yes.
it's something that you see people that just mouth their opinions and mouth their opinions, and they don't back it up with any facts. And you know, where our country's in a situation now because uh, people just spew their make believe, and their propaganda, and don't look at facts and back it up. If they would tap into their feminine energy a little more, they would go within,
Yeah.
see what truly resonates with them, and see what's factual and everything before they, come out.
Right. It's hard. I mean, when you think about out here, I mean, we have I mean, just speaking for the United States, I mean, we have over 360 million some people. Do you know how many voices that is? How much stuff there is coming at you? Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, it's really crucial to stay focused and stay, in connection with your own value system and your own level of compassion and character and needs, and just,
And I think that like you have to be aware of when it's time to let go of things. So like if you're inundated by the news, then it's time to let go of that and go watch a comedy or something. Turn the channel. You have that power, or turn the TV off and get outside and do something. Go for a walk or whatever. It's a signal like I'm inundated with too much news. I need to like get away from it a little bit.
right. I love MJ in the chat said, cite your sources. Oh my God. So like, it's amazing. Like in school and in grad school in particular, for me, everything, you could not write one word unless it was cited with a valued, researched, you know, uh, sort of,
All the all the footnotes that
you had
we
to
had to
prove
write.
what you were saying. Like, what happened to that? That's so drilled in us, but out here anything kind of goes, especially with the kind of the rise of social media. It's so
Well,
interesting.
like we used to have to research things out of multiple books and stuff to cite our sources, and list,
Yeah,
even if it was the encyclopedia or wherever.
right.
Now it's like there's so many false quotes out there on the internet and things, that, even Wikipedia, it's just someone going in and filling out a profile on somebody,
Right,
and it's their perspective, right? So,
right.
um, everything you have to take with a grain of salt, and you have to
Yes,
dig a little deeper to research it and watch it, because there are misquotes out there.
yes. And I think, one of the ultimate source you need to cite is in here. So you need to know ethically, character wise, does that align with what you truly believe? And I think that's some of the stuff we've gotten away from too, because there's just so much coming in and
Yeah.
it's portrayed as something else, or that we forget to check in. Hey, does this sound right with me? If I took this out of context, would I truly believe this? Does it feel right? Does it sit right? Does it, make me a better person? It's
Yeah.
really
But
something.
they're asking, what about when friends have passed or moved away and there's no one to talk to?
Mhm.
Well, I find true friends you stay in touch with even if they move away. So, Beth Cat doesn't live near me. We talk all the time. I have other friends that I talk to all the time that I don't live near.
Mhm.
So my old dear friends, I do stay in touch with, and they stay in touch with me. But I also, whenever I've relocated, I make an effort to get out and make new friends, whether it's
Mhm.
neighbors, or when I signed up for guitar lessons now, two of my dearest friends are my guitar teacher and his wife. Um, you have to, get out to meet
Yeah.
people. And if you don't
Constant
put
effort.
yourself out there, then you're not going to meet anybody. And there's, you know, you can't make something happen if you're not getting out in the world. We're meant to be out and have experiences. Uh,
Yes.
but just because someone moves away doesn't mean you can't still talk to them. Just because they move to the other side doesn't mean you can't talk to them either. They hear us. you know, but it's an opportunity when we realize, and it's hard as we get older.
It
We
is.
watch it with every generation that their loved ones, their friends and their loved ones start passing on, and then they find themselves quite alone. And it's a sign that I need to make more effort to get out there to make new friends.
Yeah. That is true. I mean, as we get older, that was my one thought is it's harder. It takes more work, it takes more effort, but there's so many people out there that, um, you just have to keep doing things you're interested in and
do,
searching for
do some
people and
volunteer work for shut-ins that can't get out.
Mhm.
There are a lot of people that would, you know, love to be out and about, be able to walk out and go to the grocery store and things, and they're unable to for health reasons. So they need friends too. So reaching out and finding shut-ins that could use some companionship too.
Yeah. And these online communities, again, with discernment, but like how amazing. Like I feel like all the people in the chat, like I feel like these are, we're all sitting having coffee together,
Yeah,
and it's awesome.
my tribe, the like-minded.
Yes, for sure.
Well, is it time for a meditation and sound bath?
Yes, I have one more thing to share.
Oh, yes.
Um, so I just when we were talking about today, I wanted to share this. So this lady's name is Deborah Bernier. There, over there, over there, over there. Nope, wait. Sorry, guys, I'm so bad with this.
It's StreamYard.
So anyway, she has just a journey deck. This one is called Forest. She's got a whole series of them. But I just, when we were talking about nurturing, like one of my huge things that nurtures me is nature, and just being present in nature. And when I started to think about that, I remembered her deck and just how healing and incredible and embraces that divine feminine piece. So I just wanted to share a couple images. Um, and her thing is Shaping Spirit on Etsy. So she's at Shaping Spirit on Etsy. And I just wanted to share a couple really quick images
Oh,
just for
beautiful.
nature and beauty and incredibleness. She just, it's talk about the healing mother. There's Grandmother Willow, and
Wow.
she just puts little messages on the back. Um, Oops, sorry, guys.
The faces, the expression
Yes,
is so beautiful.
absolutely incredible. And this one was beautiful, Medicine Bowl Woman.
Wow.
And I just thought, oh my God, that's to talk about nurturing. I mean, it was just incredible. So Deborah Bernier, Bernier. This journey card deck is called Forest, but there's a whole bunch of them. There's one on the oceans, one on birth. She's just incredible, incredible. She lives in the Northwest, maybe Seattle or somewhere up there. Oh no, she's in British Columbia. So I believe, but just incredible art and just it's nurturing wise. I feel so healed with her images. It's just absolutely incredible. So I wanted to share that today.
But did you have a poem also you were going to share with
Oh,
us?
I did. Yeah, yeah. Do you want? Yes, I do. So I
Yes,
have
I
another
love that because
Mary
I love
Oliver.
Mary Oliver.
Yeah. So Mary Oliver, when I am among the trees, again about that nurturing piece. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, especially the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me, the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches, and they call again. It's simple, they say, and you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine. So that's
Wow.
Mary Oliver.
That was perfect after showing the cards with the trees goddess, and
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
they went together very well.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Wow. Thank you for that. I love Mary Oliver. If you guys have ever read her poetry, you know, I think some people like take poetry like I never understand Mary Oliver. Like it is what it is to your soul, and she just speaks to your soul, simple language, and it's I
Yes.
don't know. I love her poetry. I think it's very accessible. Uh,
Yes. Yep. For
she's
sure.
marvelous. She's getting up there. She's still with us, but she's getting up there. I think.
Mary Oliver, I believe she passed.
Did she pass?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, if she didn't, I'm really sorry. But I believe she did.
I have to check on that. And I thought she was still with us. Maybe not. So we're going to go into our meditation. I just want to invite everybody just to take a deep breath in through your nose. Breathe in pure white light on a count of like 5. Just and exhale through your mouth negative gray energy. And do another one. And hold it. Just feel your shoulders relax and your body relax. Feel your feet on the floor. I always tell people, if you don't feel grounded, stomp your feet till you feel the soles of your feet on the floor. Um, that's how you know you're grounded, when you can feel the soles of your feet firmly on the floor. If you can't feel the bottoms of your feet, then you're not grounded. So I have certain, just to reiterate for anyone who's new, I have certain archangels that I invoke whenever I do a meditation that I have a strong bond with. You can include in any other archangel or guide that you would like to include. But Kali and the Holy Mother also, I invite their divine feminine energy in. Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ariel, we surrender to your mercy, compassion, and healing. We thank you for divine guidance to guide us as we receive all the information we need to take within to become all that we can be as beings here on earth, learning and doing. We release societal expectations and pressures as we move into a heart and soul centered state of being. We thank you for releasing our traumas and allowing the adults in us to heal the child in us. We thank you for breaking free of our constraints so that we may explore everything that nurtures our soul. We thank you for the discernment of knowing when to let go in order to bring and create something new in our lives. just come back into the present. It's like I have to look up slowly because the light behind me is blinding me. I am loving your new gong. So we want to wish all the mothers out there happy Mother's Day again. If you're a pet mom or a human mom, or if you're not a mom at all, happy Mother's Day, mother yourself.
Yeah. Awesome.
If you had a wonderful mother, honor her. If you had a wonderful mother, you can still honor her by being something different.
Definitely.
So June will be on Gail's channel, Soul Therapy.
Yep.
And we'll share the link on our community tabs, usually the day before. But thank you all for joining
Yes.
us. Go and nurture yourself. Take some time for yourself. Whatever you find compassionate towards yourself, you are worthy of that.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Sorry, I have gong brain. A little speechless.
I was going to say, you're in that. She's in another realm at the moment. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. We'll see you again.